Yo, what's the deal? What's good with y'all, man? Back with another video. You know, spoken by someone. Let me adjust the mic. Hey, it's been a minute, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. You know, I missed you guys, man. But I got a big video to talk about. Now, I've actually addressed this topic in the past in some of my older videos, but I've never made a full video on it. But I think I got the new scoop on what the next big agenda is within this matrix, right? It's been a long time since I made one of these woke videos where I actually fully went in detail about what the matrix is trying to do and all these types of stuff. I kind of slowed down on making these types of videos because, well, people in my life were watching the videos and they were kind of getting on me about it. And I let that get to my head. But now that I'm a little bit more advanced spiritually, I'm like, okay, like I just can't let that happen. You know, I can't let them mess with my confidence because then I basically, it's a lose lose. They move on with their lives when I'm sitting over here thinking about what they said is like, it's a waste of time. So let's get into it, right? They're trying to normalize pedophilia, right? That's the new big thing right now, is they're trying to normalize pedophilia. I know you guys have seen all the videos on Instagram, all the videos on Twitter, especially Twitter. I've seen a lot of videos on Twitter and there's been a lot of trends. There's been a lot of things that have been pushed in people's faces. The big trending topic right now is Chris Tyson off of Mr. Beast's crew, right? He got exposed for basically talking to kids. You know what I mean? And he's not the first type of person that, you know, switched genders, right? Because he used to have a family, used to be a dude, but then he switched to a girl. And they're saying that he had all types of dark fetishes and he had all types of weird stuff going on. And James Charles was doing shit like this too, where he kind of got canceled for talking to kids. He's still got a big fan base, but the majority of people know that he's a weirdo and he got caught multiple times as well. You got to understand, bro. My theory on this is that they're trying to normalize pedophilia because at the end of the day, how it always goes down is I feel like the pedophilia and lust and all those things, right? And the LGBTQ, I think all those come from the same demons. You guys know I talk about God a lot on this channel. I follow the Bible, but the difference between me is I'm not a D writer. You know, if you swing that way, I'm not tripping, right? I'm not going to just drill it all in your face. But at the same time, I got to pick a side. You know, I got to follow what the Bible says. You know, I used to be one of those dudes to be like, oh man, you can't just follow whatever the Bible says or whatever. But you got to understand, bro, the Bible has everything you need to really transcend into the afterlife and have a smooth transition and have a good transition. Because at the end of the day, only God can really judge you. Only God can tell you if you're a stand up dude or not, right? So that's why, you know, there's a lot of brainwashing that's been going on. The main trend that you've seen on Twitter is that a lot of pedophiles, excuse me, a lot of pedophiles have been getting beat up on camera, right? A lot of these new age content creators, they're catching pedophiles in stores and they're smacking them, they're beating them up, and everybody's like, yeah, like whoop his ass, whoop his ass, and they're egging it on and they're cheering it on because yeah, you seeing pedophiles get beat on, it's like they deserve it. But here's the thing: it might seem good at first, but over the long term, this is how they get their foot in the door. I'm gonna tell you exactly how these agendas always play out. It usually starts as a joke or a meme, right? I explained this in my Femboys video where it kind of starts out as jokes and memes, and then people start to believe it because you see it so much that people start to believe it. So trust me, I believe that down the road, and this is a prediction, I'm not saying this will happen, but I believe that you're going to see more laws coming out trying to lower the age of consent. You're going to see more things, more famous celebrities come out, and beloved celebrities that everyone loves, they're going to come out and they're going to be exposed for swinging that way and talking to children, right? P. Diddy was just exposed for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just Diddy, right? Diddy's kind of like the main scapegoat because he's the main one chosen for the agenda. This is how the Matrix works. You guys, you got to realize a lot of these celebrities are in on this shit. This is how they do it because what they'll do is they'll set up, okay, they'll choose these select people to do some sort of ritual and then they'll get other people hooked in on it, right? That's why you saw all those people, you saw all those reports of people going to Diddy's house. You're seeing all these trends of Jeffrey Epstein, right? And his Epstein Island. They mess with kids over there as well. It's not just Diddy. Jay-Z's doing it. I remember Ti, the rapper, he got exposed for, I think, something about having kids or kidnapping. Not just about getting kids. You got to realize that there's many reasons that a lot of these agendas play out. You're probably like, why would they even make an agenda of um, kidnapping kids and trying to get kids? And I'm gonna explain that in a second. But I was on my point where, you know, they're trying to normalize this shit where there's gonna be little shit that keeps piling up and piling up until eventually this shit just becomes normal. And people, you know, some people might have a problem with it, but for the most part, I feel like a lot of people are going to try to skew how it actually works and the rules to this shit. I just seen a streamer named Sneeko. He's kind of does similar shit to what I do with when it comes to woke topics and stuff. He was talking about basically how you know, he believes that if a person's 21 and somebody's 15 and they wanted to get married, if everyone approved of it, they could get married. And I'm like, nah, this nigga on that Diddy shit. Uh, Even part of the agenda is Sketch, the streamer, getting exposed and getting outed for doing a lot of stuff. You're seeing a lot of streamers and famous people getting outed for doing a lot of download stuff. I think all of that is in the same category because it all falls into lust at the end of the day. And I'm all over I'm all over the place with these topics, but the truth is I don't write a script for this. This all comes off the head. So bear with me, right? You got to understand, right? All of this is part of the same demon. And that's where it ties into the reason why they're trying to make an agenda and they're actually trying to normalize pedophilia, right? That's the next big agenda, right? The reason why is because there's a spiritual and there's a physical reason as to why they're trying to do this. You got to realize the elites run everything. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. The elites run the matrix. Demons run the physical world. They do, right? But God obviously is in charge of everything, but demons run the world. This is why, you know, you hear a lot about people being naturally evil and people being naturally sinful in the Bible. You see all that stuff because that stuff is real, right? Ever since Adam and Eve, you know, Eve ate that apple, all those demonic spirits got pushed out into the world. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always been. All the 7 deadly sins or whatever. That's how it's always been. So when it comes down to it, the spiritual reason that famous people, celebrities, and these elites, they go after kids is because they have the most energy, right? I made a video 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, titled Adrenochrome and how celebrities use it. Adrenochrome is basically baby's blood. They get babies, they kill them, they drink their blood, and it makes them look younger, very youthful. That's why all these celebrities look young. It's not just plastic surgery. It's way more than that. They drink blood. It's for rituals. It makes them look younger. It gives them sort of a eternal youth look. That's why some of these celebrities look so old, but they look young as hell at the same time. Well, that a lot of that is part of the reason. Also, you know, they clone them and all that type of stuff. I'm jumping in the deep end with this video. The people in real life gonna think I'm insane, but I've had these values and I've had this mindset since like 2019. I've known this shit since like 2019, right? You got to understand, right? It's all about the spiritual power that a lot of these children have. They're more energetically spiritual because you got to realize a lot of these celebrities are spiritually dead. A lot of them are spiritually, they're checked out of this world. They're not even in their own bodies. They're so overtaken by their demons that they need other energies to come out and so that they can get some good energy, some good power, and that they can stay alive, basically, right? There's many ways that these elites and these demons got to stay alive because at the end of the day, it's reptilians and all those types of stuff. That's why they try to block the sun, right? They put chemtrails in the sky and block the sun because the sun kind of messes them up, even though it's the middle of summer and yeah, the weather's been pretty good. Now, honestly, the chemtrails, that could be in a real deep end type of topic as well. If I were to get into all the things that the Matrix tried to do, this video would take all day. I would be talking literally all 24 hours. But when it comes down to the sort of the spiritual reasons, right? A big reason that a lot of these celebrities, they go after kids, right, is for spiritual, you know, power, right? Because they know that the kids have him, rituals, eternal youth, and you know they use them for spare parts as well, right? And then the physical reason, also in lust, and lust is a big thing as well, and that leads into the physical aspect. A lot of them do it for power, because obviously when you're that famous and when you're that high up, I'm talking about like the A and A plus list celebrities, right? The ones that own the businesses, the ones that do all this big stuff, right? They have to do it because one, part of a ritual as well, right? Two, it's for power, right? Because a lot of them are so bored in this world that they have to, you know, they have to get to that level, right? Because they're so desensitized by everything else. They already done experienced everything else, right? And that's why, a side topic, this is why I'm so against porn and stuff. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff is lust. It comes together. When you watch porn, you start to get desensitized and you start to watch freakier and freakier stuff until eventually your demons are so attached to you that you are doing deep end stuff that most people can't even fathom. But eventually this stuff will become normal to some people because this is the agenda that's trying to get played out. That's why you see all in the news, you see in all these pedophile stuff, right? A lot of down low people that some people already know that they're suspect, but they're going to start coming out to the mainstream. Just like a lot of people already knew Diddy was suspect, but now it's mainstream. Now everyone knows it. Now you hear in terms like no Diddy. That's part of the jokes. No Diddy, no that's how these agendas start. They come with jokes, they come with memes. Eventually, people see it so much that they start to believe it. And then before you know it, now it's normal to people, right? Now this stuff gets regular, right? Right now, it might not seem like much, but this is a seed being planted for literally like 10, 20, 30, even 50, 100 years from now. Trust me, they don't do it for the short game. It's for the long game. And that's how they really try to normalize pedophilia. So to all the people that's watching this, first of all, fuck the pedophiles as one. Two, you got to read the Bible, get into God because God has all the answers. And a lot of this stuff is in the Bible that'll tell you how to avoid this kind of stuff, right? This is why I'm so pro semen retention. A lot of people are against semen retention because they try to bring this literal, super logical productivity aspect to it because they don't, a lot of them aren't spiritual. So they don't understand the spiritual aspect to it when it comes down to lust and controlling your head and controlling your mind and really making sure that you're as pure as possible. When you're pure, you get more blessings, you become a better man. All these people are like, oh man, it's all about what you accomplish that makes you a man. It's not about that because at the end of the day, other people are going to say what they got to say. But when you die and when it becomes judgment day, God is the only person that's going to tell you if you was a stand-up dude or not. And that's going to determine if you get into heaven or hell. That's what this stuff is all about. And that's what people are, people don't really have a sense of urgency because most people think that they're good. They don't realize that it's all good until it happens. It directly affects them or their family. Then they want to act like they're in panic mode and shit like that. It's too late, my boy. You got to get into this shit now. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to scare people or things like that. You can do whatever you want. It's free will. But at the end of the day, people who live without free will, they call it lawlessness. And at the end of the day, you live without lawlessness. It always ends up leading to a dark path. And eventually it just leads to death altogether. So you just really want to keep an eye out for these things because you have to constantly stay in your mind. And I'm going to make a video about that, about semen retention video, about not allowing your mind to drift because you guys know this was why I'd be so mad at myself when I slip up because at the end of the day, yeah, it seems small now, but the flesh always wants more and it's going to get deeper and deeper until eventually you're cooked. So you really got to make sure you're on 10 and staying ahead of the game so that you don't fall back into this matrix and you don't allow yourself to regress. Because yeah, you might have the spiritual knowledge, but if you don't meditate on it, well, you're not really no better than the bots out there that are still living lives that they don't want to live and that aren't even in their own body. So yeah, just make sure you have a good sort of mindset on that and you straight, bro. That's it. But yeah, this was an extra long video because this was a very deep video. I really could have said more, but this video would have been an hour long if I just kept going about the agendas and it's a whole iceberg to it, right? It always starts from, you see the media, it starts with memes and jokes, right? Then it starts with celebrities getting exposed. Then it starts with the Matrix pushing it, making it seem like it ain't shit now. But then these elites, they get deeper and deeper. These motherfuckers are very smart. This is how that predictive programming always starts. So just keep your eyes out and keep on the lookout, man. You know, we stick together, man. It's SBS, man. I'm gonna let you know the info. I'm gonna tell it like it is, man. A lot of people are not gonna believe this. I'm not really tripping. If you can say what you want to say, but at the end of the day, we'll see who's right and we'll see how it plays out. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. You know I love you guys, man. I really got to start getting consistent. My goal is really to start uploading every day, but I just be so like lazy and inconsistent that I got to lock in, man. But I've regained my passion for this shit. Especially, I really enjoyed making this video. So let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.